Hello everyone and welcome back to my page, Messages from Venus. So I just wanted to make like a quick little video in regards to like what's been happening to me and like my feelings and emotions and stuff. I'm going through a period of my life where I've literally have put myself through hell and back, not just for myself, not just for the world, but somebody in my life. And I haven't been really, that decision hasn't been really setting well with me. And so physically it's taking a toll to the point where I have like head fevers sometimes. And you're gonna ask like, okay, so why are you doing that, Madeline? Like, what's the logic behind that? Well, there's people on this planet that have serious responsibilities with one another, and a lot of us call them twin flames, karmic flames, blah blah blah, soulmates, etc., etc. Okay, so that's kind of like the situation with me, and it's not just like one person in my life. I feel very responsible for like my mom and like myself and everybody, and I'm the type of person that tends to put themselves last when it comes to like situations like that. I don't really think about myself. I don't think about like the consequences for myself. I just think about like my journey and like the fact that I have to help, the fact that I have to like be there for people, and just do what I have to do. I'm very selfless when it comes to matters and situations of assisting and helping and putting myself out there. So that's not an excuse for the readings to be late. I've also moved, and I had to get myself out of a toxic situation that I've been in for like a year. Not because I don't appreciate the fact that I was given a place to stay. It's just, it doesn't mean that people need to like try to take over my life and know all the steps and everything that's gonna happen, and like try to taunt every second of my day, or try to make me feel guilty because I'm talking to my parents, or I'm talking to my mom, or I'm on the phone, and just wanting complete and total control of my existence. It makes me absolutely disgusted that people are just they think that the fact that people are out there that think that they can still do that to other people are disgusting. It makes me absolutely sick. You know why? Because yes, I'm all for do the spell work on this person, knock this person out, lock this person in if need be. But if you know that they're gonna be there for you regardless, and that they're there, and they've told you this many times, and let's say you go and get yourself a consultation and you've been told like, look, this person is gonna be there for you, this person is gonna respect you no matter what decision they make in their life. Don't try to make it change, or try to make things in their life change to the point where you know it's gonna make them feel uncomfortable just for you to be happy, seeing them miserable next to you. And that's what was going on with my old roommate, whom I hate with all my heart and soul. Like, she shouldn't be someone that exists on this planet. Like, that amount of hatred and that amount of of control and wanting to exercise control over somebody else's life, all because you know that they've made decisions that you don't agree with. Meanwhile, you're not a family member, you're not anything to this person, but somebody that helped them for 2.5 seconds, and not really because you were paid for, like the whore that you are. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to forgive things like that. It takes a lot for me to forgive people that put stuff on my food, knowing the trauma that I've been through with my past relationships, with my just like family members that didn't like me and tried my fucking existence. Knowing where I came from, that's not something that she should have put herself in the predicament that she should have put herself in, to try and control and do the same thing that others have miserably failed to do. Because I'm not one to allow herself to be controlled to the point where I can't breathe, to the point where I can't, I feel just completamente hostigada en mi vida, and I hate that. I hate that feeling. I hate feeling that like somebody controlling me constantly. I hate that. Can't stand it. Even though I have the ability to do it to other people, I don't do it because I know how horrible it makes other people feel. And I'm also to the point in my life where I need people to be in my life because they love me, appreciate me, and because they acknowledge me. Not because you want to exercise complete and full control over your agenda over my life, because it's not gonna happen. You don't run my life. Nobody runs my life but me. I make the decisions here, right? So that's what was going on over there. And she also tried. I know some people are gonna be like, oh well, that doesn't even make sense. That's how can somebody do that? How can somebody do like energetic surgery on you, or spiritual surgery? That shit exists, okay? And for those of you that study it, you would know how to do it if you know how to astral travel and you know how to be a vampire. And she was both of those things. And the reason why I was there is because I needed to take a soul with me. I needed to take a very precious soul with me, whom is always with me, and I light candles to him. That was Hershey Boy, and he's always gonna be with me, right? But like, it was above and beyond me how like disgusting her attitude towards me was, you know. But I think that she kind of like knew what my purpose was in her life and like what I came to do, and she fucking hated it. But she didn't realize everyone else hated her, and everybody else kind of like couldn't stand her because of the things that she would do to people. Like, for example, spiritual surgery on like her own daughter because she didn't like the person that her daughter was dating and stuff like that. It's all these things that I don't expose people of, but I'm talking about it on social media. Maybe one day she'll like see it on my YouTube channel. I really don't give a shit about at this point, but it's just I was uncomfortable for a very long time, and once I feel like I'm spiritually boggled and it's just like that exercise of control over my life and over my spirituality and over who can see me, where I am, where I'm going, like the people that I see or constantly calling, what are you doing, where are you? I don't like that, because my mother doesn't do that to me, my boyfriend doesn't do that to me, my brothers don't do that to me, my father, who's my father, who created me, does not do that shit to me. So therefore no one else has the ability to do it for more than 2.5 seconds. So cut that bitch's head off, to the point where I left. And I mean, I paid her last week of rent and I just left and didn't even tell her I was leaving. I just packed my shit and left. I have zero like respect for people that do shit like that to people, or try to put fucking stuff in your food so that you can stay, so that they can control you, so that they can control your money. Because I don't know what it is about people, but everyone that seems to be still stuck on my ex, whom I already spoke with, whom I've squashed the beef with, who is not in my life, he is not in my life, I'm not in his life, whom I don't give a fuck about, whom he does not give a fuck about me, because we spoke about the situation and we've moved on forward. I don't know why they still feel like, oh, Madeline's gonna get a lot of money, like girl, your spirit got snatched, because you have zero like, just I don't understand. Everybody that gets attached to the money that's not existent usually just goes to shit with it, because that money went to shit more than 4 years ago. Okay, so that's that. And to people that are in relationships where they feel like they're in a relationship and you kind of like are stuck because your partner is not giving all that they should give, or you feel ungrateful, unappreciated, just know that if you're gonna stay, it's going to become a normal feeling. It's going to become something absolutely normal, which is a little sad to say, because that's not something that you want to be normal. That's not a part of your life that you want to consider normal. But if you know that that's the person that you're going to stay with, that you have spiritual connections with, that this person is the person that's meant to be in your life for a very special reason, whether that's you closing ties with that person, closing karma with that person, whatever the reason is, know that that's something that's going to be absolutely normal. I feel absolutely guilty talking to my friends about it, because I feel like I drive them crazy, because I know everyone has their own issues, everyone has their own like problems and their own stuff to talk about. But I am so grateful for new people that I consider my best friends, because I know that they're not new in my life. Like, I've been around them in my entire existence. Okay, like they've been queens and kings to me from the beginning of the existence of my soul, and like, it's crazy to see that we're all on the planet again, and we're all doing what we have to do, and we're all connecting as a tribe. I feel a little bit better today, which means I can continue to do like the monthly readings and stuff and record after I'm done doing laundry. But I just want to let people know, like, look, you're not the only one. And if you don't have to do something like stay in a relationship where you feel betrayed, or you feel not acknowledged, or you feel like the person that you're with is not grateful for one reason or another, then don't stay. Because there's people like me that sacrifice themselves every fucking day to be in a situation where it goes against my morals. It goes against everything that I thought was normal. It goes against everything that I was taught to not like, to not be around, to respect myself a little bit more, to not deal with like verbal abuse, not be abusive to somebody else. And that's all of the things that I'm doing, literally all of the things that I'm doing, and that are being done to me. Like I told myself, Maddie, you're not gonna go back to a relationship that you know that you have to tolerate things like that. And I've failed miserably at not going back to the situation. But in a lighter note, I don't want anybody to like hate my boyfriend or like, oh my god, this and that. It's just I would have preferred, in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you what I would have preferred as a person. I would have preferred to be in a relationship where I didn't have the responsibility of being what some people would like to call a light worker, or somebody that came back into the planet, or realizing that everyone has a crown on top of their heads, and it's those circles you see in like the Catholic churches and the angelic paintings. Those circles are your crowns. Every single person on this planet has a crown, and so my crown is very heavy. It has a lot of responsibility. It has a lot of karmic dues and debts that I have to balance out, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. It's something that I don't want to do. I don't want to turn around one day and say I procreated a child out of a contract or responsibility. I would like to turn around and say I procreated a child because I am in love with my boyfriend, which I am very much in love with my boyfriend. Even though I don't think he loves me as much as I love him, or appreciates me as much as I appreciate him, or want to be next to me as much, because I feel like I was a person that he too was taught to hate. Like I was taught to hate people that would do the things that he's done to me, and he was taught to hate like me or my persona or what I represent. And that's tough, and that's something that we have been dealing with, and I have to be totally and brutally honest with people. It's not easy at all, to stay with somebody that represents everything you're not supposed to be next to, and everything you're not supposed to do. Like I was raised in a home with two parents. He was raised in a home with two parents, but we were raised in homes where like our mothers, yeah, they worked, but it wasn't like full-time all the time, and they worked for the city, but our fathers were always like the head of household and doing like manly things, or what are considered to be manly things, and our lives are totally like out of that normalness. And that creates problems when you're trying to make yourself happy in a relationship, and also make your partner happy, and at the same time make sure that your family is also on board with your plans. And there's been a lot of times that my family has not been on board with my plans, and neither has his family. But it's responsibilities we have to take care of. I just would like to get to a point where I don't see it as a responsibility. I want to see it as a normal relationship to what is normal to me. So something that I'm capable of taking. And it's also like, it also has affected my spirituality, because I see myself, I'm like lighting candles, which I've always done, even when I was in the other room, but now I can keep them in my room. I'm like lighting candles and doing all of these like just spiritual things, not just for myself but for people, and giving people readings, etc. But sometimes I don't even want to feel the spirits. I don't want to be connected to the spirits, because I feel betrayed. I feel like it's the only thing that I asked for. The only thing that I asked for before I reincarnated into this world is to be loved in return. My mission in this world is to learn to be loved in return. And I have failed at it miserably, because I don't allow like trust and love to touch me too much, because I've been betrayed so much. And I've had to give up everything that I love, and everything that I adore, and everything that I feel is balanced in my life, to be able to do what's best for the bigger picture. And when light workers do that, or when people that are considered light workers do that, or spiritual consultants, or witches, warlocks, or whatever the case is, it's like we're sacrificed for the entire universe to see, as an example. You know, when people talk about Jesus Christ was sacrificed, he wasn't literally like on the cross for more than 2.5 seconds. If people have like memory, you would know that that's not entirely what happened. It's a metaphor. It's symbolism for the fact that he was a sacrifice and an example that is difficult to follow because of his teachings, because of the way that he lived his life. It was difficult to follow. And that is something that I find myself seeing myself as a crucified entity. because it's difficult to be me. Everybody looks at me and they're like, oh, like, it's like the jealousy rages inside of people, and I'm like, what the fuck are you so jealous about? Like, what are you so upset about? Like, I don't travel a lot. I don't have a lot of money in my pockets. I've depleted my savings because I've been paying off so many dues. And it has nothing to do with the car. A lot of people say like, oh, the car, the investment. No, like literally I got rid of debt. I cut cards. I cut a lot of cards, and I still have a lot more things to deal with. But it's more of like the sacrifices that I'm still dealing with from my like financial decisions that I made like over 4 years ago. I'm still dealing with that shit because I was doing it slowly, and now I have a year doing it so quickly that I don't even have money to save, which is perfect, which is great, because it's helped me a lot. It's like, I'm an Amex member, you guys. Not only do I have an Amex savings account, but I also have like an Amex American Express card. Like, sometimes that's difficult for people to maintain those type of cards, but I am grateful for everything that I have. It's not that I'm not grateful, but I would sincerely suggest for people not to be jealous of me, and for people not to like see me as like this thing or this being that they should just like be jealous of, which is weird because I don't have not even half of the things that I actually want in my life. Spiritually, I'm doing excellent. In this physical world, I still have a lot of maneuvering to do. I have all my crowns. I have all your crowns because you didn't know how to appreciate them or keep them together. Haha, bitches. Losers. But yeah. Spiritually, I'm thebomb.com. In the physical world, I think maybe before the end of the year I'll be thebomb.com again, and I'll walk you guys through this journey. But I wanted to express myself, and I have to be honest with myself. Sometimes I am like nervous when I talk to my friends, and I talk to like family members, and I talk to people that like I can tell my secrets to, because I've told my secrets to so many people and they use it against me so much. So I kind of have to like use my diary, like use my page as a diary, and at the same time kind of like trust other people and like stop having PTSD and stop myself from freaking out so much, because I literally freak out. I freak out for the children, I freak out for the world, I freak out for a lot of things. So it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of burden. However, I feel like we're gonna be okay, one step at a time, one breath at a time. Even though it's like not normal, it's not something that I would ever suggest anybody to do, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done in the most perfect way possible, and we're gonna try to be as happy as possible while doing what's best for the greater good of everyone, not just ourselves. And that's a message from both my boyfriend and I, okay? Just so you guys know. So we're moving along and we're trying to get things together. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is my experience. This is what I'm going through. You guys are not the only ones that are going through it. Just hang on, and hang on to love, whatever your definition of love is. And try to keep everything in balance. Once everything is in balance, then no one falters. No one really falters, even though you're going to still freak out, because it's a lie. Spirituality is a lie, especially now that Saturn is going direct. It's still a lie. It's still fucking, like, I just can't. Like, sometimes I feel like, oh my God, am I breathing? I literally have my Apple Watch, and sometimes it tells me, like, it'll be good for you to take a minute to breathe, kind of a thing. It's so weird. But yeah, I hope everyone has a fantastic day wherever you guys are, and do not forget to water your life, and I love you all very, very much. Bye.